to make it applicable to us right now. And so, in Matthew chapter 20, verses 28 to 34, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, guys, you know what, sometimes you watch TV, and those guys on TV, man, they're up there preaching, but look at it. They're being served. There was one time that we went to a concert, Judy and I, in Fort Worth, Texas. And what was that guy's name, honey?
Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels. Now, I like Charlie Daniels. I do. You know, I'm not a country boy. I'm not a country music guy, but I love to see that guy rock on, you know, on the fiddle. I guess you guys call it fiddle. Charlie Daniels gets served when he's on that stage. He would be up there, man, he'd be going like a son of a gun with this thing, and all the little string things or hairs or whatever it is on that bow, they'd start flying around, man, and I mean, he would really be getting it. And then all of a sudden, he would stop. And he would just stand there, and two guys would run out to him, one from each side of the stage, one guy with a new fiddle, another guy with a new bow, and he would just stand there, they would put it in his hand, and he would keep going again. Boy, was getting served, man. You know? The Lord Jesus came to do the serving. Can you imagine that? Can you get a grip on that? That God came to earth to serve His creation. That's amazing. That is amazing. In Matthew chapter 20, 28 to 34, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give His life as a ransom for many. Wow. So guys, if we think about what our life is for, see, our life is to be able to give out to other people. And guys, because of that, many people are going to come to know God. Way more than we can ever imagine, because we look at ourselves like, oh, you know, I can't be used by God. I mean, I'm just Kenny, you know, I'm just Teresa, I'm just Jim, I'm just Judy. I can't be used by God to reach. Yeah, you can. Because God's the one that's doing the work through you, man. It ain't about you. Don't think it's about you. You get up on a pedestal, then you start thinking it's about you. God will use whoever's willing to be used. I want to keep reiterating this thing, guys, with what is it that you really like doing? Some like riding motorcycles. Some like hill climbing on dirt bikes. You know, whatever it is that is your trip, do it for God, man. You can. When you hit your hand with a hammer, you don't have to rant and rave and cuss. You don't. I mean, can you imagine what that means when somebody sees you maybe talking good, talking about God, when you hit your hand? Oh God, thank you that it didn't take my hand off. You know, I remember one time in my life when I always took good care of my teeth. You know, because I'd look at old people and I'd see them teeth flopping around in there, and I said, I don't want to be like that. But I took good care of my teeth. And one day we were over working on our women's ministry home that we had, and we were putting some new siding around this thing, and there was an electrical panel. One of those things they read the numbers on, then they send you a bill. That was on there, and the piece of wood would not quite go behind it, so we had to drive it in there. Well, I was up there, I was holding the sheet of plywood, and one of the other guys was up on a ladder, and he had a piece of wood, and he was hitting it with a hammer, driving it in behind, and it was working. But one of the times he missed. He missed the wood, and the hammer flew out of his hand and hit me square in the mouth, knocked out my top teeth. I mean, I'm spitting teeth, man. I got a couple of them went through my lip, you know. And this guy loved me, man. He had come to us, beat down drug addict, and I had loved him hard. Can you imagine what was going through his mind? He had just hit the pastor in the mouth with a hammer. I mean, it was bad, you know. And you know what? I knew what was going through his mind. And so we got down off them ladders, man, and I just reached up and I hugged him and loved him. Because I knew that his heart was breaking. I said, brother, I love you, man. And so, that to me, even now, because even now I know that he thinks about that. How could somebody, I'm kind of reminded of, you know, when Stephen, while they were stoning him, he prayed, forgive them. I understand that. I don't know how. When I look back on that now, I just don't know how that I embraced him at that moment. But guys, it had to be about him, not about me. I could have crushed him. Not physically, but mentally. I could have crushed him at that point. Blaming him. What would that have done for his spiritual life? Nothing. So guys, we have got to start getting out of ourselves. What would Jesus do? As Jesus and his disciples were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed them. 2 blind men were sitting by the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shouted, isn't this a trip? Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Now, try to picture this in your mind, what's going on now. I mean, you got the motorcade, right? I mean, they're going from one place to another, and somebody shouts out to Jesus. The crowd, the people that were with the Lord, rebuked them and told them to be quiet. I want you to grasp the heart of God right now. But they shouted all the louder. I mean, these people were hurt, man, and they knew that the Lord Jesus could fix it. Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Jesus stopped. Okay, Jesus stopped. He's got a whole bunch of people with him and found 2 guys, a couple of guys that were needing help. And he stopped the whole thing. Can you turn it down a little bit? Can you turn down the air conditioning? Will you turn it down? Oh, sure. I'm seeing everybody out there going like this. We need to have a rack of coats in here instead of Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Jesus stopped and called them. He dealt with the problem. As soon as he became aware of the problem, the whole thing of work, that what they were doing at that point, they were going on to the next city, stopped. Everything stopped at that moment. Jesus stopped and called them. What do you want me to do for you? Can we take on that mindset, guys? What can we do for you? Now keep in mind that a lot of times doing something for them does not mean enabling their mess. See, Jesus was not going to do something for anybody that was going to cause them to lay in their mess longer. He offered the solution. That is doing something for them. And check it out. What do you want me to do for you, he asked. Lord, they answered, we want our sight. Wow. We want our sight. Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eye. Picture this scene. There's a whole bunch of people all around and Jesus stops because somebody has a need. Everything, this whole thing stopped at that point. And Jesus met the need. Guys, if we don't learn something about that, man, we're hard as rocks. We've got to stop what we're doing. Sometimes we just need to stop all this ministry. We call this stuff ministry all the time. We've got to do this, and do this. Sometimes we'll march right by somebody that needs us. Jesus had compassion